This next trainer will show how to invite and build a motivated and highly focused team. Please welcome to the stage SVP and ACN influencer, Mike Mazer.
You guys are the champions for being here today. See, here's what I know. There's going to be hurricanes on the way to senior vice president, yes or no? There's going to be rainstorms on the way to senior vice president, yes or no? There's going to be ups and downs, and the people that overcome those problems will walk this stage as champions. So give yourselves a hand for being here this evening. First of all, I'm excited to be here. Give you a little background of me. Nobody's special. Looked at ACN 21 years ago with my brother Patrick. My background was broke. I don't know if anybody can relate. I was 33 years old. I was selling cars. I was delivering pizza on the weekends. And, I was negative and skeptical. And, got invited over to a meeting. A friend's mother said, hey, do you look at other ways of making money? I said, I'd look at anything. Now, but if a friend's mother calls you up and asks you that question, what do you think it is? I don't know where we cut grass or lift something heavy. And she brought us into a meeting, and we took a look at this opportunity, and it just made sense. How many of this just made sense? See, you didn't have to convince me of people were going to use the phone. I realized the phone was not a fad. And we got involved in the business that night, and we started to go out there and try to work ACN, attended a couple trainings, and, had our ups and downs. It didn't always go smooth. But I remember when we came to our first international convention. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. We're from Altoona, Pennsylvania. Anybody know where that is? It's a great city to leave. But I remember our upline was like, you gotta go to the convention. Now I'm in the car business. I'm barely paying my bills. I had every excuse not to go, but usually the excuse not to go is the excuse you do go, yes or no? And we drove to Atlanta, Georgia. Pat tells a funny story. We have a car that, didn't go over 55 miles an hour because it started to shake. How many of you had cars like that? We didn't know how we were going to get back, but we knew we needed to get there. And that's what we did. I remember we came into a convention. We sat in the back. The people in the back, you guys are in Millionaires Row. Give yourselves a hand. And at the end of the weekend, we found a home. We saw people with the same skill sets or lack of skill sets having success. We saw people that, that didn't have education or lack of education having success. People just like us. And you know what? They said, all you got to do is get good at one thing, copying. I said, man, if I could have copied, I could have graduated college. I would have sat next to the smart kid and said, right big. And I remember we came home and we went to work, wrote a list, and just started putting people in front of the opportunity. Did break records, took us 6 months to hit regional director, 2 years to hit regional vice president, 9 years to hit senior vice president. But understand, it's been an amazing ride. We've had some of the most amazing human beings that have partnered up with us, people that I wouldn't even imagine would have ever partnered up with us 21 years ago. But here's what I know, ACN keeps getting better, yes or no? Meaning the announcements you're going to hear this weekend, the different things that's coming, they're setting the company up for the next 30 years. How many of you are excited about that? But you got to get your piece. And here's what I do. You can have the greatest opportunity in the world, and if you're the only one represented, can you agree, you can only do so much, yes or no? You can only be one place at one time. Only can talk to a handful of people. And what this company taught me is how to build distribution. See, J. Paul Getty was the first recorded billionaire in history. And here's what he said: I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts versus 100% of my own. How many of you are getting 100% of your own efforts right now? Meaning you don't go to work, you don't get paid. How many of you know that one? And that was me. And when they taught us how to build distribution and leverage your time over other people's efforts, these were concepts that I never learned. No one ever taught us this. In college, for the short time I was there, they didn't have Millionaire 101. You agree, if you had Millionaire 101, I'd have probably taken that class 3 times. You know, but the concepts that they taught us here have allowed us to build a global business, and ACN is global. The only thing that will limit you here is you. Now today, I'm going to teach you how to build a team. Now why is it important to build a team? Can we agree? The person that has the most reps is going to naturally have the most customers, yes or no? Absolutely. See, how many of you like the fact you can recruit people better than you? I have people on my team that are better at getting customers than I am. We have people on our team that are better recruiting than we are, more successful. But because we brought them into the business, we get a little percentage of their success. But before I start teaching you, you gotta be coachable. Everybody say coachable. Coachable. How many of you didn't even say it? You gotta be coachable. See, our goal, and you're gonna find this through the whole weekend, is help you to go from where you are to here without going through the same ups and downs that we did. Is that okay? We're going to teach you through our mistakes. See, I don't want you to make the same mistake we did. I want you to break records. I want you to get to the stage quicker than we did. But once again, you got to be coachable. Second thing you got to bring to the table here is a work ethic. How many agree there's work here? Anything in life worthwhile is going to take work, yes or no? This isn't get rich quick. You can get rich, but it's going to take time, effort, yes or no? And the third thing you got to bring to the table is a reason for doing the business. How many of you know why you're here this morning? Why you're going to learn a new skill set. Get out and get uncomfortable a little bit. You know, the bigger the why, the harder you try. So I'm going to get into how to launch your business, how to build distribution. Now, the first thing you want to do is schedule a meeting to launch your business. And I don't care if you've been in the business a week, I don't care if you've been in the business a month or 3 years, you can launch your business over again. Can we agree? But to launch your business, you got to schedule a meeting. So take a minute and schedule your meeting. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, just pick a date that works for you. Let your sponsor know, hey, I'm having a meeting on Tuesday. Get ready to do a presentation. Pick a date. If you leave here today without scheduling, or tomorrow without scheduling a meeting, you're making a conscious decision to fail. The second thing you want to do is build a list. When people say, who do I put on the list? Everyone. Well, what about my Uncle Bob? Is he part of everyone? Everyone. What about my neighbor? Everyone. What about the guy who works for everyone? Put everybody on your list. Now, I didn't do that at first. My list consisted of the people that I knew. And when I mean knew, close proximity to me. They even said, well, I was a broke car salesman, so guess what my friends were? Broke. And here's what I found. A lot of them weren't interested in even taking a look. I remember after I went through a handful of my friends, I realized why I was broke. So I was hanging around some broke people. But here's 21 years experience. These are the people that do the business. Number one, business owners. Robert Stefanowski shared an article with us where 70% of the population right now, due to inflation, is looking for an opportunity. Can we agree we're in fertile ground right now? We're in fertile ground, but you got to go after business owners. See, here's what I know about business owners. You don't have to teach them business. They have something to compare it to. Second type of people, people that have network marketing experience. How many of you have heard of this industry before? Companies out there that sell what? Products, vitamins, all kinds of different things. We're service-based. When you show this business to somebody who has experience in this industry, they explode the business. And I'll give you an example. We have a new couple that joined our team, Caesar and Sonia Buffoni. You can hear their team in the background. These guys came in the business, they had a background in this industry, they had a skill set already developed, they had teams of people that knew what they were doing. They came in and hit regional director in less than 28 days. you like a Caesar and Sonia in your business? You got to put them on your list. Here's the other people. People that are real estate professionals and everybody else. I know some of you are sitting there thinking, well, Mike, you're not an A player. You never owned a business. You never did this before. Well, let me tell you what happened. My brother Patrick did. He signed up first. That's why Patrick's here and I'm here. I was like, give me the app. I'm not going to let you get rich without me. I really don't know what we're doing here, but I'm in. See, what will happen is business owners will influence everybody else that comes to your meeting, yes or no? Now, here's the secret. The person that puts the most people in front of this wins. How many of you like it's that simple? How many like the fact that you don't have a special skill set? You just got to get good and do a couple things. Write a list, put people in front of the opportunity, and you can go as far as you want in this opportunity. That's what I loved about this. I didn't have to be smart. I just had to be able to copy what the successful people were doing. Now, I'm going to teach you how to get people from your list to your meeting. But you've got to understand that people see you as you. See, if you start talking about, I found something, we're going to get rich, and it deals in health share, it deals in services, can we agree you're going to create skepticism? You know, it'd be like me walking in here today and start giving medical advice out. Anybody be skeptical? I think you need surgery. And why you laugh? Because you know I'm not a doctor. But they have this little script. And if you just get good at this script, you can have massive success. You know, this script was like my Academy Award-winning line. Now, if you had a shot at getting an Academy Award-winning line, how many of you just wing it? How many of you practice it? How many of you hire an acting coach? How many of you go back and forth? See, the people that learn this script have massive success. And I'm going to invite everybody in this room to show you how simple it is. What you want to do is you want to call people up and ask them a simple question. Do you look at other ways of making money? Now, when asked that question, you wait for an answer. You're going to get yes, you're going to get no, or you're going to get what are you talking about? Can we agree? If someone says no, it's not your time to get that salesperson hat on and go, what do you mean you don't look at other ways of making money? Look, if they say no, thank them and move on. You don't want to catch what they have. You make them a customer later. But if they say yes or what are you talking about, this is where a little tug of war is going to happen in your mind, because we're taught from here to here. When asked a question, give a what? Wrong. You want to insert your why you're doing the business. So let me start over. So I called you up and said, hey, it's Mike, you got a second. When I asked you a question, you look at other ways of making money. Yeah, me too. I don't know if you know this, but I've been working on a car lot for 9 years and I'm not getting rich. And based on that, I started looking around at other things. I ran into a company that deals in services, but let me tell you who I met. I met this guy named Jeff Street. Little background on Jeff, business owner. He started something on the side, deals in services. He's having massive financial success. Yeah, you heard me right, massive success. And he's doing a Zoom for me tomorrow at 8 p.m. It's going to be about 20 minutes, and he's going to show me and a select group of people exactly what he does. Can I put you down as company? Now, how many of you would say yes to that? No, honestly. How many of you have questions? Can we agree the majority of people will have some type of question? See, here's what questions mean. Questions mean they're interested. But when you answer a question, what do? Take away the interest. See, how many of you invited somebody and they asked you a question and you answered it? And they asked you another question and you answered it, you answered another question, and they gave you a comment like it's not for me. Or does it sound like I want to do something like that, or I don't know anything about that. See, you didn't use the script. But I'm going to teach you today how to overcome every question. Are you ready? It's really simple. When people ask me a question, no matter what the question is, what's the name of the company? Can you give me more information? You know, what kind of services? What are you talking about? Here's how I answered every question. That's a great question. I always compliment people. See, when you compliment somebody, how do they feel? Oh, I always could ask good questions, right? And they ask the question, I say, that's a great question. I don't know all the details, but here's what I do know. The company deals in services. The gentleman's name's Jeff Street. He's having massive financial success. And based on his success, I want to hear what he has to say tomorrow on the Zoom. How about you? Now, can we agree we're going to have people that might ask the second question? You ready? Here's how I answer it. That's another great question. I don't know all the details, but here's what I do know. Company deals in services. The gentleman's name's Jeff Street. He's having massive financial success, and based on his success, I want to hear what he has to say. How about you? Now, we all have slow people in our lives, yes or no? I've had people, they ask me a third question. And when they ask me the third question, here's where I just get honest. I say, look, I don't know anything about services. I'm in the car business. But Jeff does, and he's having success doing it. Would you like to come to the Zoom, or should I invite somebody else? You know how many people I've got to come to the Zoom just because they were curious? Dude, even to this day, this is how I invite. I'll give you an example. I was flying from Detroit to Dallas. That's where I live currently. Sitting next to a lady. She owned a transportation company, her and her husband. Excited, talked the whole flight, told me all about everything she knew. She goes, what are you doing? What do you do? I said, I'm moving to Dallas to work with Monica Bernardino. She goes, well, what'd she do? I said, she's doing something never been done before in the service industry. I said, do you look at other ways of making money? She goes, yeah, what's it all about? I said, it's a Zoom call. It's going to be about 15 minutes. Can you give me more information? Her name's Monica. Now, this took me 8 years to learn. Can we agree I could have done a presentation for her? I could have signed her up, yes or no? But she would have tried to do the same thing. See, here's what I learned. It's about duplication. It would have never duplicated past her. She got excited, met Monica, signed up, and now guess what? She's doing the same thing. See, some of you guys can call up people and say, get on a Zoom, because you got personal power, you got success. But the problem is that can't duplicate. It's all about a duplicatable system. It's that simple. Now guys, here's the other thing I've learned. Call everybody. You ask every leader in this room, you know what they're still doing? Bringing customers and reps to ACN. That's all our responsibility. See, here's what I love about ACN is I don't have to worry about everything else. I don't have to worry about the company. I don't have to worry about payroll. I don't have to worry about all those things. All I got to do is get good at what? Putting people in front of the opportunity and let them make the decision whether it's for them or not. See, guys, I'm here in gratitude. I've been with this company 21 years. You know what I'm excited about the next 21 years? Why? Because people need this opportunity. There's people out there that you're going to call, and you're going to say, do you look at other ways of making money? And they're going to be like, man, I've been praying for you. What do you got? Jump on a Zoom. And there's going to be people you call that aren't going to be interested. And here's what you're going to find. The yeses build your business, and the no's build you. You know the difference between me and you is more people have said no to me than to you. That's all it is. Now, no's bother me like that. How many of you held on to some no's? How many people said no rudely? Like, oh, you know, I would never do something like that. No. And how many of you carried that with you for a little bit? People ask me all the time, what do you do? I said, I'm a professional sorter. They're like, what do you mean? I think you look at other ways of making money. They said, no. I say, you're sorted. See? That's it. Senior Vice President of sorting. And you can be the Senior Vice President of sorting. But here's what I suggest. Number one, schedule your meeting. Number two, put everybody on the list. And when you leave here this weekend, start making phone calls with a passion. Get excited. Because I wish I was a talented enough speaker where you could walk in my shoes for 24 hours. Look, if I knew it was this good, I would have worked harder in the beginning. If I knew Senior Vice President was this great, I would have given more in the beginning. But I'd had to grow. I had to learn. So let's take this company to the next level. Man, how many of you are affected by that Ronald McDonald House? Let's Ronald McDonald houses all around the world. From what we do. Guys, enjoy the weekend. Get a lot out of it. Put what you learn into play and go see your vice president. I'll see you at the next event. God bless you. Take care.